What is up, everybody? Logan Battles is in the house, y'all, and LBFT is back, baby. Woohoo! Season 2 is beginning tonight, and I cannot even begin to tell you how excited I am to be doing this. It's been 7 months since I've done my last LBFT episode, and like I said, I am so excited to be doing this right now. LBFT is back, everybody. Woo-wee! Anyway, for the, I guess you could call it Season 2 premiere of LBFT, for those of you that don't know what it stands for, it's for Logan Battles Football Talk. That is what this series stands for. Just for those of you who are newer viewers or newer subscribers to my channel. And for this one, for the Season 2 premiere of LBFT, the first episode in my new second season of LBFT, I'm going to be talking about my prediction. I'm going to be giving in my prediction for a season of probably my favorite team in college football right now. And I have been a fan of this team since January of 2014 when they beat the Auburn Tigers in the BCS National Championship. And y'all, if you have been into football, you know who I'm talking about. It is the Florida State Seminoles, baby! Yeah! Yeah. Florida State has now, a while ago, they have a new head coach in Willie Taggert. They hired him as well as a few coaching staff members. One of them, I remember reading this one article or a few articles that show that Willie Taggert recruited Mickey. I can't remember his last name, but his first name was Mickey, and he's like a legend. He's like a FSU coaching staff legend or somewhat. I can't remember his last name, but I do remember him being Mickey, his first name. But anyway, new coaching staff, new head coach, and most new football players on our hands, and some returning players from last year and the year before. So for this. Like I said, for this episode, I'm going to be giving him my prediction for the upcoming season of my Florida State Seminoles. That's right. I'm going to be giving my own prediction for the upcoming season, just to give you my insight and my thoughts and opinions on how I personally think that the season will look like in the future. From September to November, just in the regular season. I'm predicting the regular season, and of course, all the things that I'm about to say, including my prediction for what the season is going to look like, is all subjective. Every prediction is subjective. This is just my own personal opinion on what I think the 2018 Florida State Seminoles football season will look like. You can agree or disagree. That's more than fine. I am more than fine with that. It's just for me, this is where I'm at with this. This is what I think will happen. So, without any further ado, let's get started. For the season opening game on September 3rd / Monday, Florida State will be at home facing Virginia Tech, the Virginia Tech Hokies. It's going to be a very tough game. I do believe it's going to be a tough game, but I do believe that at home the Seminoles will get the win, or as Jameis Winston back at Tampa Bay Buccaneers said, "We're going to be hungry. We're going to be ready for some W's," or something like that. But yeah, the Florida State Seminoles, I believe, are going to beat the Virginia Tech Hokies. Not by much, just 4 points, I would say. Just the score prediction, 34-30. That's the score. That's my score prediction for the game. It's going to be a tough game. I think the Seminoles will struggle in the first half just a bit, but I think they will get better in the second half and get the win. Second game, Saturday, September 8th. They play at home again. This time against Samford or Samford. Or however you say it. Anyway, this is an easy one, obviously, facing an FCS team, so it's going to be a dominant game. I know that for sure. Everybody knows that for sure. So, my score prediction for this game, Seminoles are going to beat them up for sure. No question about it. 55-17 is going to be my score prediction for the game. September 15th, Game 3, at Syracuse. Florida State's first away game of 2018. I'm pretty sure the Seminoles are going to do somewhat well in the first half, but I believe that they will do very well in the second half, just based on scoring points and making turnovers for Syracuse, or against Syracuse, even though the FSU is playing at Syracuse at their home turf. But I do believe that Florida State Seminoles will be able to beat up, to a certain extent, Syracuse at their home turf. So based on that, my score prediction for the game will be 35-20. Pretty big game, especially picking a team to dominate a team at their home turf. Pretty interesting, I might say. Although there have been some other games in the past that where one away team just beat up a home team by a dominant score. But I'm not going to get into that right now. Fourth game on September 22nd. September 22nd. Northern Illinois. The last time that Florida State has faced Northern Illinois was the year before Jameis Winston came to Florida State, I believe. That was the last time I think Florida State has faced Northern Illinois, and they also beat them. And Northern Illinois is playing against Florida State at home, so I'm going to give it to Florida State. So that makes it 4 wins in a row, four straight wins. But score prediction 31-21. I do think Northern Illinois will kind of play well defensively, but like I said about a few games like Samford and Syracuse, Florida State is going to get the win, I believe. Now, Game 5 at September 29th at Louisville. Yeah, that's right. That's the team that beat my Florida State Seminoles twice in 2 years, or almost 3 years. And I don't think this, and I think I made an LBFT prediction video saying that last year Louisville will not beat my Florida State Seminoles, and I turned out to be wrong. So, but I'm still not going to change my mind on this. I'm still not going to change my mind, because after Lamar Jackson got drafted into the NFL by the Baltimore Ravens, after he left, this season is going to be this season where I believe Florida State will beat the Louisville Cardinals. I do believe it. Without Lamar Jackson, they're not very much a competitive team, as far as I'm concerned. So, moving on to Game 6. Yeah, Game 6. October 6th at Miami. This is going to be the toughest game the Florida State Seminoles will ever enter or get into. The toughest game that Florida State will ever get into, or at least that I predicted it will be. It will be the most challenging game of the entire season for Florida State. I do believe that. Because Miami last year beat us, and I predicted that Florida State would beat them last year, and that also didn't turn out to be the case. So, honestly, I mean, I will give Miami a lot of competitive edge. I do think they somewhat have a competitive edge to, score up some points on my Seminoles, but I believe that Florida State Seminoles might have a slight edge over Miami to get the win, to get the W, just by 2 points. And by the way, I forgot to mention the game at Louisville. I predicted 28-24. I forgot about that. I apologize for not mentioning the score prediction I have for that game. So 28-24 against Louisville. So back to Miami. I will say it will be a very, very tough game for Florida State, but I think they'll win this one by 2 points, 30-28. So that makes it 6 games. That makes it a 6-game winning streak for Florida State. Looking pretty good. And then we move into the off season. And then on October 13th. And then coming out of the off week, entering October 20th, Saturday, is at home against Wake Forest. For the last, couple of years or so, Florida State have been struggling against Wake Forest. And to this day, I still don't understand why. And they shouldn't be struggling because Wake Forest is such a weak team. But besides, although granted, our defense for the past few years hasn't been that good, and all that is due to Charles Kelly, of all people. I'm not going to get into that right now. But anyway, I'm gonna say Florida State wins that one. 38-20 is going to be my score prediction for the game. At home against Wake Forest, 38-20. Game 9, Saturday, October 27th, Florida State plays at home once again. This time, however, playing against the Clemson Tigers, the visiting Clemson Tigers, coached by Dabo Swinney. This is tough for me, honestly. For the last few years, it's been tough for me to pick against Clemson, because Clemson has been a very tough team to beat. They're an excellent team, and I think I picked them last year to beat us, didn't I? I think I did, but anyway, and I might pick them this year as well to win against my Seminoles. So that makes it the snap of the Florida State Seminoles' 7th game winning streak. Snapping the 7th game winning streak after winning against Wake Forest in October 20th. I'm 35-31 is the score prediction for the game. I'm picking Clemson to win the game because they're a tough team to beat, and it's really difficult to pick against them when they are a very, very tough competitive team. Tough and competitive team. So yeah, 35-31. Blast on me, blast on me all you want. I'm just being real. I hope that it's not going to happen. I hope Florida State will beat Clemson this year. I really hope it is. But in reality, it's unlikely that they will beat Clemson. But I'm hoping they do beat Clemson this year. I really do. I'm hoping for it. Will it happen? I don't think so. So, moving on to, what is it? Game 10? I think it's Game 10. Yeah, Game 10. Okay. or wait a minute. Okay, game 9. I think I apologize. I'm confused. The off week off week pretty much threw me off. Two words at the same time. I'm just really confused as to why they keep putting the off week in the middle of the season. It always throws me off for some reason. But anyway, I digress. Saturday, November 3rd, at NC State. Like I said about the Miami game, this is also going to be a very tough game for Florida State. But I believe that Florida State will win this game by a field goal, which makes my score prediction for the game be 24-21, which is a kind of a low-scoring game if depending on how you look at it. But last year, NC State has been very underrated. That they've been better than people giving them credit for. I think it was last year or the year before. Maybe it was last year that they beat my Florida State Seminoles. And I don't think they'll do the same thing this year. I think Florida State has a better chance, a slight better chance, of beating NC State at their home turf. So, because of that, 24-21 is my score prediction for the game, making it 8-1. Is that right? 8-1. I think it's 8-1. Anyway, so Saturday, November 10th, at Notre Dame. This might be the second game after the Clemson game where Florida State might lose. I do think that'll be the case. Notre Dame, it's really, and it's like I said about who did I talk about? Was it NC State? I think it was NC State that I talked about. They're going to be a very, very tough team to beat at their home turf. I'm not even kidding. They've always been tough at their home turf. Well, almost always. Sometimes, every once in a while, they'll get beat up at their home turf by some team. But anyway, this might be the second game where Florida State might lose. Because, like I said, for the most part, Notre Dame is almost impossible to beat at their home turf. So because of that, I'm going to give Notre Dame the win. I'm making it the second loss for Florida State in the 2018 regular season, right after the loss against Clemson. And the score prediction I have is 31-27. Notre Dame 31, Florida State 27. That's the score prediction. So, moving on to one of the last two games of the regular season. November 17th, Saturday, November 17th, at home against Boston College. Last year, they beat up my Florida State Seminoles very bad at their home turf. Boston College, at their home turf, beat up my Seminoles really badly. Only giving up a touchdown with an extra point. I don't see the second time happening. I really don't. I do think Florida State will be better this time around against Boston College. I believe they will not give up at their home turf against Boston College without a fight. I do believe that for sure. Boston College, pretty good team, but I say that Florida State is starting to get better and better in the second half of this upcoming regular season, and just based on scoring points. And with that, I would say Florida State wins against Boston College 37-28. At home against Boston College, 37-28. Florida State. Now, the last game of the regular season, Saturday, November 24th, at home once again. This time, however, against the Florida Gators, one of the most recognizable and most, one of the biggest rivals, in-state rivals, Florida State has ever faced in history. I'm not going to deny that. They have quite a history. Florida State and Florida, the Seminoles of Florida State and the Gators of Florida, also known as the Sunshine Showdown, I guess is what it's called. Florida has lost to my Florida State Seminoles. The Florida Gators have lost to my Florida State Seminoles within the last 4.5 years. 4.5 years they have lost. 4.5 straight years they have lost to my Florida State Seminoles. They pretty much sucked in at least 2 of those games. 2 of those games they've stunk up the joint against my Seminoles, and I really can't, change my mind after seeing the record within the last 4.5 years rather, that they've lost to my Seminoles. So this will be the 5th straight year that my Seminoles will beat the Gators, with a 5-game winning streak against Florida. That's the likely scenario here. So with that, I am picking my Seminoles to beat the gay turds, as some of us FSU fans would call them. 38-23 is my score prediction for the game. Florida State 38, Florida Gators 23. I do think Florida will score up some points, but that still wouldn't be enough for them to catch up with Florida State's offense. Florida State will have a really great offense in this game. I really, truly believe it. And I know I keep saying that I believe I do because I'm a Florida State fan, but I still am being realistic with what I'm saying and what I'm feeling and what I think will happen and what I'm predicting would happen, if you will. So yeah, I already had all the predictions down. So that makes it overall that I predicted the season for the 2018 regular season for the Florida State Seminoles to be overall 10-2, 10 wins, 2 losses, and in the ACC Atlantic Division, it's 7-1, or just the ACC, I guess. So yeah, 10-2 overall, 7-1 in the ACC conference. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. It's much higher than I thought it was going to be as I was getting my predictions down and down and down and down. But I'm just saying what I'm saying. But yeah, guys, those are my prediction. That is my prediction for the 2018 Florida State Seminoles football season. And this is my first episode in season 2 of my football series, LBFT. And I figured I would just start season 2 off with my prediction for the 2018 regular season of my Florida State Seminoles, and it's pretty good. It's much higher than I thought it was going to be. But I did thought about this long and hard, and I do think Florida State will have a much, much better season than last season. I do believe that will happen. This year being a huge improvement. I do believe that will be the case. I do think Willie Taggert will give us a way better season. That's just me, though. A lot of people might disagree. That's fine with me. But like I said earlier, at the start of this episode, predictions are subjective. Opinions are subjective. And that's just the way it is. It is what it is. So anyway, guys, this is the first episode of season 2 of LBFT, my football talk series, and it's so good to start off season 2 of my football talk series with my prediction for the 2018 FSU Seminoles football season. It's really cool. As a fan of the Florida State Seminoles, it's really good to see that. So anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, and if you agree with my prediction, comment below and let me know what you think what your prediction would be for the 2018 FSU football season. I really wanted to know. And if you enjoyed what you've seen here and you want to see future videos from me, please subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell so that you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in episode 2 of season 2 of LBFT. Have a great week, Battle Squad, and as always, fight the good fight.